Just having a look at a chart, RFE, Red Fork Energy, okay, for penicillin, pen. Drew this chart back in December 2009, and it's still holding this fib set along here. This is a 61.8% fib, and you can see it's been holding that there lately quite well. Okay, so one would be looking to it to continue to hold. Okay, the one little thing that concerns me a bit is this triangle that we have over here, whether it's an equilateral triangle, okay, which means they can break either way. The other thing is it could also be an ascending triangle, but yeah, the tops have got a little bit of an angle on it, so I'm sort of leaning towards an equilateral triangle at the moment. There's also this little black dotted trend line along here, so it's very much been in a sideways pattern, trying to work out which way it's going to go. The other thing that we'll look at, if it was to break to the upside, the first stop would probably be up around the 200-day moving average up here. Is what one would be thinking. So at the moment it's just trying to sort itself out in here. And if we have a look at our indicators, a little bit of a downside on RSI and also DEMA. Okay, SCOTH could be turning down again. Okay, zero mag LACD, this is on the daily chart, also looking to turn down again, and that's what it's done here this morning. Okay, it had a nice little up candle there yesterday. The way the MAs are and this little standard error band, it could just turn here and push up, but any break of that 61.8 and I'd be well and truly gone, I'd be thinking. The interesting bit to note, 200-day moving average 200, purple line up here has been basically capped it. Okay, if we have a look on the weekly chart, I'll just turn this into a weekly chart, your 200-day moving average has been holding it. Okay, so it's a bit of a conflict between the weekly chart and also the daily chart. The way on the weekly chart here, this is rounded up here. If this 30-day moving average comes down and goes through that 50-day moving average, well, these are both simple moving averages, they'll then push the stock down. That's what I'd be thinking, and you'd be looking probably back along the level over here, looking probably back down to these levels again. So yeah, it's a bit of a no man's land for me at the moment. On the weekly indicators, MACD is probably just trying to start to turn down. The SCOTH is turning down a little bit. Quite a bit of a volume has it has been up, but then we get all these smaller ones in here. They're still going up, but it's over the shop because big volume one day, half the volume the next day, big volume, half the volume. Yeah, so a little bit hard for me to pick on this one, but I tend to be leaning to the downside here at the moment. That's what I tend to be thinking, but it's definitely doing some sideways, and this triangle is going to come into play at some point in time. And that's about the best I can do for you. I'm sorry. The other thing to notice on the weekly candles was this little cross candle in here, and it hasn't gone above the close of that, and it's come back down. So that tends to be telling me that it's probably a break to the downside. It could break to the downside. Yeah, so yeah, and just those other few little things on the daily, I'd sort of be tending to heading for a break to the downside rather than a break to the upside at the moment. And that's just purely on charting, not knowing anything fundamentally about the stock whatsoever. If we have a look at daily candles, yeah, they're basically all over the shop. You know, it's just such a small range here. There's nothing decisive in there for me, but it's definitely playing along those two yellow lines in this little triangle here anyway. So blind Freddy can see that. It's just going to be which way it breaks is what you tend to be thinking. And your next fib level down here is at 48. Next fib level up is at 84. Okay, but yeah, those two conflicting 200-day moving averages are what this stock is about on the weekly and the daily at the moment, as far as I can see. But yeah, that's about me on Red Fox.